Today we learned about y is equal to mx plus b. It's called the point or the slope y-intercept equation. All right, it's called the slope y-intercept because it gives you the slope m and the y-intercept b. All right, so there is another equation of a line, straight line. Okay, whoa, let's not just freak out yet. Okay, there's actually two other ones, but just so you don't need to write this down. You can just watch this. If I take our slope formula, that slope formula, and I multiply this up to the other side. So you multiply both sides by x2 minus x1. I end up with x2 minus x1 times m, which is y2 minus y1. That should be y1. These are points, right? x1, y1, x2, y2 are points. Okay. So this, we're going to rewrite this and change some of the subscripts to this equation. So it becomes, I'm just going to flip it around. Y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. This is another equation of a straight line. How do you know it's the equation of a straight line? How do we know if something is linear? What did you both say? The highest exponent is 1, right? It's not -1, it's not a half, it's not 2, 3, whatever. Highest exponent is 1. In this case, highest exponent is 1, right? Because there's no exponents written. We know it's linear. This is called the point, and we call it, the point is x1, y1, the point slope equation of a line. Why do you think it's called the point slope? And the slope. See, I told you, mathematicians, very creative people. So, point slope equation. So, if you see something that is written like this, y plus 3 is equal to 2x minus 1. It doesn't look like y is equal to mx plus b. It doesn't look like this. But it matches this sort of formula here. Okay? What's the slope of this line here? Look at the general formula here. Where is the slope? It's in front of the x minus x1, the brackets. So the slope here is 2. Okay? What's the point? It's x1, y1. So what are my points here? You're looking at those two numbers. So what point does it go through? X minus x1. X minus, the x value is 1. Okay? The y value is beside the y. All right? It's this here. But there's one trick with this equation. Okay? Look at the general formula. I shouldn't say general. Look at the formula. It's y minus y1. What does it say here? Y plus. Okay? So it's a hidden, if you think of it, it's the same as writing this. What do two negatives make? A positive, right? So this now matches my formula, which is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. There's my y1, -3. Or my my y1. There's my x1, which is 1, and there's my slope, which is 2. Okay? So this passes through the point 1 and -3. So now I have a point, and I know the slope is 2. We can sketch the line. Okay? So my point is 1 and -3, which is there. My slope is 2. How do you write 2 as a fraction? 2 over 1. So it's a rise of 2 over 1, and you can sketch the graph. Now, you're all saying, why do I need to know this one? Okay. What's the y-intercept of this graph? Does it go through -5? It's pretty close, but it's not perfect, right? Is it -4.8? Is it -4.75? Is it -4.9? We don't know. So if it's not a clear y-intercept, you need to use this equation, okay? Because the other one required us to know the y-intercept. That's why it's called the slope y-intercept form, right? That one. All right, so we're just gonna practice pulling the information out of this. So we're gonna skip to the next page. We're gonna skip that page. We're gonna go straight to here. All right. Here's our formula. Again, I will give you this formula. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. We have a line that goes through this point and has that slope. What is the equation of that line? Just plug it in for x1, y1, and m. So y minus, what's my y1? 5 equals m, which is 3, x minus 6. There's the equation of the line. What about b? Okay, so y minus -1 equals, that's your m. X minus 1. There you go. Now, two negatives make it, so it turns into y plus 1. It's -4, x minus 1. All right. Is that okay? That's just plugging the numbers into the formula. What is m and what is x1, y1? That's it for now. It's always for now, right? Now, I want to do this. So now they give us the slope, they give us the point, but they want us to write it in this form. But because we don't know the y-intercept, we need to use this first. So we go, okay, here is our point slope form. What do I write here? Y minus what? 2, right? There's my y value. Oh, sorry. Equals, what's my slope? What's my slope, people? 5, thank you. X minus -5. What's minus x plus 5? Good job. Okay, they don't want it in point slope. They want it in mx plus b. So what do I do? Does mx plus b have brackets? No. I don't see any brackets there. I need to get rid of the brackets. So now we're going back to polynomials. What do I do with the 5? Yes. Dump the 5 in. Now what? What does it have to look like? Y equals something. Does it say y equals something right now? What does it say? Yeah. So you're going to add 2. Run out of room. So y is equal to 5x plus, boom, there you go. What's my y-intercept? I heard it over there. 27. The slope is still sitting there, right? There's your M. One more before break. Yeah, exactly. Okay, we got slope. We got the point. Go. Question. Are just hanging out? Math is so much fun. Go, people. Yeah, you can do this one by yourself. I have faith in you. You just did a quiz by yourself / together. They did a group quiz. They hate, well, they don't like the unit, but they like the format, right? This is the hardest unit, though. Fair enough. It's the most abstract. It's all about line. Are we done, peoples? Almost. Don't scare them. That's grade 11. Don't worry about grade 11 yet. People get to there, but you got to make it look like this. So what do? Then add the 4. What's negative 21 plus 4? Boom, there you go. Negative 7x minus 17. Good. That is good. Here's the questions. But you have a cheat sheet, right? Numbers 1, 2, A to C. I guess 2 only has A to C. And then 3, A and B. It is. Break now. Last question I was going to do. Yep, just give me a sec here. Come on. All right. They're asking us to determine the equation of this line. So the first thing you do is you ask yourself, do I know the y-intercept exactly? No, we do not. See how it goes through in the middle there? So we cannot use y equals mx plus b. Well, actually, you can. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it, okay? But we need to figure out the slope and a point, okay? Find the slope. We're always going to have to figure out the slope. M. We have a graph, so we're going to do what method? Triangle, rise over run. You have to pick 2 points that it goes through perfectly. There we go. So what's my slope? What's the slope, peoples? Negative what? 3 down, 4. Negative 3/4. Whoever said negative 3/4 is right. Down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to pick points where the line goes directly through a corner. I don't want to use this. I don't want to use that one because it's not going through like right in the corner. You want to use them where it goes right through the corner because then you know the exact value. Well, it doesn't have to be an intercept. I could. Yeah, there's not really any clear ones other than those 2 on this graph. Wherever it meets in the corner of a square. Yeah. Okay. So now I know the slope. Now we have to pick a point. Okay, a point that it goes through. Normally we pick the y-intercept, but we don't know the y-intercept exactly. So we have to pick a point that we know exactly. What point do we know exactly? That one? I need the coordinates other than that one. You can use either. You can use either one of these points, actually. So pick the one that has a 0 in it because it makes your life easier. Now, it's not always going to work out that you have one with a 0 in it, but if you do, pick that one because zeros make things disappear, right? They make your life easier. So I'm going to use this point right here, which is -6 and 0. So now we have a point and we have a slope. It's yelling at us to use the point slope form, right? So you can do it two ways. We can go, okay, I have a point and a slope. So I can just plug everything into this formula. You will. You got to do some math first. So, but you'll have you can use any point that's on the line as long as you know that point, right? So I plug in my x and my y's. My y1 is 0, so I just get y minus 0, which is just y. Does everybody agree with that? My slope is -3/4. X, what? What's in the brackets? X plus 6. Does everybody agree with that? Okay. Well, it was y minus 0, right? Because this is a 0. That's why we use 0, because then things just disappear. Makes your life easier. You don't have to, but it makes your life easier. All right. You can leave it like that. Has most of the information. But they want us to write it in slope y-intercept form. What does that mean? Do we have brackets in slope y-intercept form? Slope y-intercept is this. Mx plus b. So you just have to dump the 3/4 in. Like that. Okay? -3/4 times x is -3/4 x. How do you multiply fractions? There you go. So that's like 6/1. And you multiply 6 times -3, which is over 1 times 4, which is 4. Can you reduce that? So I get -3/4 x minus 9/2. And then you can ask yourself a couple questions to see if we think we're doing it right. Our slope is negative. Looking at the graph, is that the graph of something that has a negative slope? Yes, it is, right? Because it's falling left to right. And our y-intercept, because that's our b value, is -9/2, which is 4.5. If you go 9 divided by 2, you get -4.5, right? Does that look approximately like -4.5? Close, and I mean, it's hard to tell, but it looks like it would be right. Okay, so it's just a little check. Are there any questions? We okay? All right. I would like you to do question 5. And just 5. Just do 5 for now.